Ready? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Welcome everybody to today's Sunday program. We welcome all the viewers watching via YouTube and via Zoom. We have a lovely program today. We're about a couple of weeks away from Sri Ram Navami festival. We just celebrated a wonderful Gaur Purnima, and now we're ready for the appearance of Lord Ram. We've been reading daily Sri Ramayan. So it's a remind by His Holiness, I believe, Bhakti Vikas Swami. So on Zoom every day, we've been reading on the pastimes of Lord Sri Ram, which is really, really nice, gearing us up to the festival. So later on today, we have His Grace Raghupati Das Prabhu, who will be giving a class on Ramayan. So to be a two-part Ramayan. So today and next Sunday also. So we look forward to hearing from His Grace later. So we'll go over now to the temple. I can see such a number was ready now for Sri Prabhupada Arti. So we'll go over and glorify His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ji with Arti. Hare Krishna. Also sung by Gurupani and Nimai. Okay, thank you very much, Nimai, little Nimai and Gurvani. That was really wonderful. It's so nice to see you and hear you again. Really missed you. So thank you for joining us. Hare Krishna. So that was wonderful. Really nice, the glorification of Srila Prabhupada. So now we're going to go over to a video, a short clip of Srila Prabhupada talking about the importance of chanting. That is quite relevant because in the book club, now that we've finished Nectar of Devotion, we'll be moving on to Harinam Chintamani, the glories of the holy name. So this is a very nice short clip of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you to Anil Prabhu for recommending this clip, and we'll go over to that when Sudarshan is ready.
Chanting Hare Krishna, we may not understand what is meaning of Hare Krishna, but still, because it is transcendental sound, it is auspicious. Wherever you chant Hare Krishna, they may hear or they may not hear, it is auspicious for them. So we are sending our men for street Sankirtan. It doesn't matter whether people are eager to hear it or not, but it is auspicious. It will create an atmosphere which is very, very congenial to the human society. That should be our principle. Not that because we are chanting, nobody is taking care, we shall not be disappointed. This Sankirtan movement is so nice that simply by chanting, the vibration will create an auspicious atmosphere. Very honest people. Now, you can practically see those who are old members. So I began in this New York, in that storefront, simply by chanting. So, I did not bribe you American boys and girls to come after me. The only asset was chant. That Tompkinson, this Brahmananda Swami, he first came to dance with my chant. He and Achyutananda, that was the first dancing of our Krishna conscious movement. Yes. And I had no mridangas. That was what is that? Little drum. So I was chanting Hare Krishna from 2 to 5, 3 hours. And so many boys and girls were coming and joining. And there was first photograph in the Times, New York Times. They appreciated, and people also appreciated. So this chanting, the beginning was only chanting. There was nothing more. At that time there was no program of prasad distribution. That later on it came. So we should always be confident that this chanting is not a vibration of this material world. This is not vibration of material. Narottam Das Thakur says, Golokera premo dhana hari nama sankir. It is imported from the spiritual world.
In January this year, I
Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Wow, what an amazing clip that was. It really goes to the core of the heart. Srila Prabhupada is so clear. There's no ambiguity. There's no guesswork, or it may be this or it may be that. Prabhupada was so clear in his talk and his lecture, and it's so sweet how he reminisced back how it all started, just chanting in a park in New York for a few hours, and Srila Prabhupada's sincere chanting just attracted now all these boys and girls that he was talking about, chanting with him. And this is how simply it started, and then how the Hare Krishna movement has now grown across the globe. It's just absolutely amazing how it all had like humble beginnings. So it's such a nice clip that Srila Prabhupada, was talking about, just the importance of chanting, how it's not part of this material world, it's something spiritual. And every day, I think it's really nice to remember, or on Sundays when we do hear from the lips of Srila Prabhupada directly, how rare it is. We're in such a rare opportunity. We're in this Krishna conscious movement. We're in the association of gurus and sadhus and shastra and the holy name. And we mustn't take this opportunity for granted. We can see now, the world is just a very difficult place to be in with COVID, and you don't know who will be hit next, and there's death just around the corner, calamity. So it's really important for us to really grasp this holy name and take the words of Srila Prabhupada to heart, and take advantage of these Zoom programs, this association of devotees virtually. We're not sure when we can all get together and worship together safely, but really in the comfort of our own homes. We're bringing Zoom, YouTube programs to your homes. So do share this, tell your friends, tell others, tell others who were in the temple, who used to come. Do connect, reconnect, come back to the devotee association, because this is the only thing that will really help you through these difficult times. So that was a really nice clip. It really got to me. So it's really nice. So we'll now go over to the temple. We'll go to the temple to Sachinandan Pujari Ji, who's going to sing a lovely bhajan, I'm sure, of Kirtan, followed by Pranava Prabhu. You'll see he knows very nice variation of bhajan, sings very nicely. And then Ishani Mataji after that. So now we go to our Kirtan section. Hare Krishna.
Radha Krishna bol bol re sabai. Radha Krishna bol bol re sabai. Ei shikha diya সাগর দিয়া এই শিক্ষা দিয়া সাগর দিয়া ফিরছে নেচে গৌরিতায় এই শিক্ষা দিয়া সাগর দিয়া ফিরছে নেচে গৌরিতায় রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল রে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল রে সবাই মিছে মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে মিছে মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে মিছে মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে খাচ্ছ হাবু যোগু ভাই মিছে মায়ার বসে যাচ্ছ ভেসে খাচ্ছ হাবু যোগু ভাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল বল রে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল বল রে সবাই জীব কৃষ্ণ দাস এই বিশ্বাস জীব কৃষ্ণ দাস এই বিশ্বাস জীব কৃষ্ণ দাস এই বিশ্বাস করলে তো আর দুঃখ নাই জীব কৃষ্ণ দাস এই বিশ্বাস করলে তো আর দুঃখ নাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল 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 রে সবাই বলবে যাবে পুলক হবে কৃষ্ণ বলবে যাবে পুলক হবে কৃষ্ণ বলবে যাবে পুলক হবে ঝরবে আখি বলি তাই কৃষ্ণ বলবে যাবে পুলক হবে ঝরবে আখি বলি তাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সঙ্গে চলো রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সঙ্গে চলো রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সঙ্গে চলো এই মাত্র ভিক্ষা চাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সঙ্গে চলো এই মাত্র ভিক্ষা চাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বল সবাই ভক্তি জয় সকল বিপদ ভক্তি বিনোদ জয় সকল বিপদ ভক্তি বিনোদ জয় সকল বিপদ ভক্তি বিনোদ বলেন যশোর ও নাম গায়ে যায় সকল বিপদ ভক্তি বিনোদ বলেন যখন ও নাম গায়ে রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই শিক্ষা দিয়া সাবরিয়া এই শিক্ষা দিয়া স্বর্ণ দিয়া ফিরছে নেছে গৌরিতায় শিক্ষা দিয়া স্বর্ণ দিয়া ফিরছে নেছে গৌরিতায় রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ বলবে সবাই জয় হোক
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Pujarji, can you give us a little bit of translation? What bhajan means, please?
As Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda dance throughout Nadia, they call out everyone, chant, chant, chant Radha Krishna. Oh brothers, you are needlessly suffering under the control of Maya and being carried away by her waves, sometimes floating and sometimes sinking in the ocean of illusion. Second, if you just understand the spirit soul is the eternal servant of Krishna, you will never have any more sorrows. And when you chant the holy name of Krishna, your eyes will fill with tears and your body shiver in transcendental ecstasy. This is what I say. 3. Chant Radha Krishna in the association of devotees. This is all I ask. Bhaktivinoda says, when I chant the holy name of the Lord, all dangers flee. Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada.
Very much. That was a really, really nice bhajan. So following on from this short clip, Srila Prabhupada talking about the importance of chanting, and this bhajan is very nice, encouraging everybody to sing the glories of Radha Krishna. It's a very nice bhajan. Thank you very much. So now we're going to go over to Pranava Prabhu and family. They have a very nice bhajan prepared. Sing Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman, which I'm sure most of you are quite familiar with. So over to you, Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, Pranava.
Hare Krishna.
Sudarshan Tidiksha, lovely to see you. Thank you. So over to you.
Yeah. So Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Nava Kanja Lojana Kanja Mukha Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Navakanja Lochana Kanja Mukakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Navakanja Lochana Kanja Mukakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Navakanja Lochana Kanja Mukakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Kandarpa Aganita Amita Chavinara Nira Niraja Sundaram Patapita Manava Tadita Ruchi Suchi Nomi Janaka Sudavaram Kandarpa Aganita Amita Chavinava Nila Niraja Sundaram Patapita Manava Tadita Ruchi Suchi Nomi Janaka Sudavaram Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Bhajadina Bandhu Dinesh Dhanam Daita Vamshini Kandanam Raghunand Anand Kand Kaushala Janda Dasharatha Nandanam Bhajadina Bandhu Dinesh Dhanam Daitya Vamshini Kandanam Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Kaushala Chanda Dasharatha Nandanam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Sira Mukata Kundala Tilaka Charu Udhar Anga Vibhushan Ajhana Bhuja Sab Charu Jar Sangrama Jita Kara Dushanam Sira Mukuta Kundala Tilaka Charu Udhar Anga Vibhushanam Ajhana Bhuja Charu Sangrama Jita Kara Dushanam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Iti Vadati Tulasi Das Shankar Shesha Muni Vararanjana Mama Hridaya Kanjani Vasu Kuruka Kami Kalagaranjanam Iti Vadati Tulasi Dasa Shankara Shesha Muni Vararanjanam Mama Hridaya Kanjani Vasa Kuruka Madi Kaladala Manjanam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhaya Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhaya Dharunam नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपदकञ्जारुणं श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणं नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपदकञ्जारुणं श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणं रामचन्द्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भयदारुणं श्रीराम 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 जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सच्चिनंदन जय निताय सच्चिनंदन जय निताय जय सच्चिनंदन जय निताय सच्चिनंदन जय निताय जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभु जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल 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 जय श्री राम हरि बोल
Jai Shri Ram. That was absolutely amazing. I was actually thinking, as mentioned to Satyam after you just now, I was thinking in my head today, I thought, Ramnami Festival's coming up, and, who can we get to sing? And we'll have to have different devotees. And I thought, for Ramnami, Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman, I thought, but I don't know anyone who knows this, or who can we approach to ask? And then today, you were going to sing this. This is absolutely wonderful. It was a really, really nice rendition by you all. So thank you for singing that today, and we'll definitely like to hear it again on the festival. I think it'll be wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So we can see the wonderful darshan of the deities, Seshananda Daicha on this big screen. They look absolutely gorgeous. I'd like to thank Dinesh Prabhu and the technical team for really working hard at getting this Wi-Fi, the connection sorted, to get even a better quality darshan from the temple. So thank you very much, all the devotees that are working hard, Prem Prakash Prabhu, Panva Prabhu on this, and the deities are looking wonderful, so thank you very much. Now we're going to go over to Ishani Mataji and Prem Prakash Prabhu family. I believe they're next for the Kirtan. Are they on anywhere?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Then with pranam. Hope our voice is clear today.
They are. We can hear you loud and clear. Hare Bol Radha Prabhuji. So that's wonderful. So what will you sing today for the...
So because it's Ram Navami approaching, so we've also prepared a Ram Bhajan.
Oh, wonderful. That's lovely. We look forward to hearing it. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hari Bol. So please join us for Kirtans. Hari Bol. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana पतित पावन सीताराम। मुख में तुलसी घट में राम, मुख में तुलसी घट में राम, भजले प्यारे सीताराम। मुख में तुलसी घट में राम, भजले प्यारे सीताराम। कौशल्या का लाला राम, दशरथ जी का प्यारा राम। कौशल्या का लाला राम, दशरथ जी का प्यारा राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। दशरथ नंदन राजा राम, जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम। दशरथ नंदन राजा राम, जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम। हनुमान के स्वामी राम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम। हनुमान स्वामी राम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, चतुर्भ्रात अवतारे राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, चतुर्भ्रात अवतारे राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, लक्ष्मण सेवित राजा राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, लक्ष्मण सेवित राजा राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, भरत शत्रुघ्न प्रिय हर राम। राघव राजा राम, भरत शत्रुघ्न प्रिय धरे राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, दस मुख मर्दन जय श्री राम। राजा राम, दस मुख मर्दन जय सिया राम। हरे कृष्णा। जय श्री
Hare
राम।
Krishna, Jai Shri Ram.
जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. That was really, really lovely. Thank you very much. The whole atmosphere, the whole family singing together. You know, your sounds coming across amazing, and your beautiful voice. You know, and Aradhya on the mridanga and Prabhuji singing. It's really, really nice bhajan. So also we'll do one for Ram Navami as well. Definitely, we'd love to hear that again on Ram Navami.
Sure.
So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that's our bhajan kirtan slot complete. So thank you to all the devotees. It's really, really nice. We'll now be going on to the two-part Ramayana pastimes of Lord Ram class by His Grace Raghupati Das Prabhu. So we'd like to give him a warm welcome. Thank you for joining us today and next week. It's our great fortune to have you with us. Is Prabhuji on? Let's see. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai, please accept my humble obeisance.
Says, all goes to Prabhupada. And so nice to be with Coventry devotees. Wonderful.
It's so nice to have you, Prabhuji. You know, at the drop of a hat, anytime we ask you to do it in a kirtan.
It's
always
wonderful.
readily
It's
available.
wonderful. Yeah.
Readily available. Thank you. I think the congregation really love to hear you. And we look forward to hearing the pastimes of Lord Ram and Ramayan for the next 2 weeks we have you. So thank you very much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on Ram Katha and purify myself and serve the devotees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Over to you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we just had beautiful kirtan, and now we begin our session today. So we're very happy to have this opportunity to speak on Lord Shri Ram. So we're just going to start with very short kirtan and then move on to Shri Ram Katha. Jai Shri Ram. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijan Vallabha Girivarandhari. Yashodanandana Brajijanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajijanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jai Krishna Baliram Krishna Baliram Krishna Baliram Jaya Krishna Baliram. Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva. Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva. Jai Gauranitai Gauranitai. Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Haribo. Jam Shripad Paramhans Purajika Acharya Astotra Shashri Srimad Krishna Kripa Shrimurti A.C. Bhaktivan Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Magyanitimrandhasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshulmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpadikamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Harijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanto Radha Kant Namostute Tapti Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakulptaru Bhayasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatam Hum Vande Paramanandu Madhavam Ramadimurti Sukalani Menatishtan Nanavtaram Kurodhu Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Paramahapumanyo Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami. Hare Krishna. So the verse we just chanted from Brahma Samhita explains the incarnation of Lord Ramchandra in the context of our Krishna conscious philosophy. Ramadi Murti Sukala Niyamena Tishtan. Starting from Lord Ram, Ramadi. So Ramadi Murti, starting from Lord Ramchandra, there are so many incarnations of Krishna. Varaha, Kurma, Nrsimha, Parasuram, so many incarnations. Nana Avtaram, Akurudu Bhuvaneshu Kintu. So Krishna is taking many, many incarnations in the material world. Nana Avtaram, Akurut. So he is taking many, many incarnations. Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Paramaha Pumanyo. So just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have a list of incarnations in the first canto. And then Lord Vyasadeva is saying, Ite Chanskala Punsha Krishnasta Bhagavan Swayam. Indradi Vyakulam Loke Mrinayanti Yoge Yoge. So in this list of incarnations, Krishnasta Bhagavan Swayam. Name Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. Swayam Bhagavan. He is the original personality of Godhead. So this is Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. But if you meet a Ramanandi Vaishnava or Ramanuj Vaishnava, particularly Ramanandi Vaishnava, which is a branch of Ramanuja Sampradaya. So their understanding is that Lord Ram is the origin. He is the Mool Avatar. So they worship Lord Ramchandra as the original personality of Godhead. So there's no difference between Lord Ramchandra and Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna Swam Sambhavat Paramahapamanyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajan. Name Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, our Godhead, is Paramahapamanyo. He is Param Purusha. Iswara Paramaha Krishna. So Krishna is Param Purusha. This is how we worship Lord Krishna as Param Purusha, the origin of all incarnations. We see in the incarnation of Mahaprabhu, at time to time, Lord Chaitanya would show his Shadbhuj form, six-armed form. So in his 6 arms, he has got 2 arms as Krishna, 2 arms as Lord Ram. So he is carrying the bow and arrow, and then 2 arms as a sannyasi, as Mahaprabhu. So now we can see that all personalities of Godhead as Shri Ram, Krishna, they are all contained within the personality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu is Swayam Krishna. He is Krishna himself. So with that understanding, now we look at one Shloki Ramayana. Just like we have Bhagavad Gita Chatusloki, 4 important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Then we have Bhagavatam Chatusloki. So we have got one Shloki Ramayana. Entire Ramayana contained in one seed verse. So I'm going to share that with you. And then we'll discuss some of the pastimes according to the time available to us. One Shloki Ramayana, it starts with this verse. Adu Ram Tapo Vanadi Gamanam Hatva Mrgam Kanchana Vaidehi Haranam Jatayu Maranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Bali Nigrahanam Samudritaranam Lankapuri Dahanam Lankapuri Dahanam Paschat Ravan Kumbhakaran Hananam Edadhi Ramayana. So beautiful. So Adav Ram Vanadi Gamanam. In the very beginning of Ramayana, where Lord Ramchandra is born, Maharaj Dashrath as his son. His childhood is very playful. So Lord Ramchandra plays with the crow. Then when he becomes a little younger, he is sent to the Gurukul of Vasishtha Muni. In the Gurukul, the Lord learns all the sciences and the arts in a very short time. Just like Krishna learned everything in 64 days. So he learns everything. Or in another way, he plays a role of learning something from a guru, Vasishtha Muni. And then the time comes when Lord Ramchandra is taken by Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni, although Kshatriya by birth, but he took to Brahminical occupation of doing tapasya. So one time he had a quarrel with Vasishtha Muni. And having seen the power of a saint, power of a Muni, Vasishtha Muni, who finished his entire army. So when he was quarreling, fighting with Vasishtha Muni finished his entire army just by chanting mantra. So Vishwamitra became very impressed, and he thought that as a Kshatriya, I have to labor so hard to train these people, fighting, recruit them. And this sage, simply by chanting mantra, finished my entire army. Therefore, the sage is more powerful. So he wanted to become a sage. So Vishwamitra Muni then eventually becomes a Brahma Rishi. So as a Brahma Rishi, he is not misusing his powers. Although he had powers to finish off the demons who were coming. The demons were sent by Ravana. So Ravana was spreading his Rakshas Vansh or demonic kingdom. So these demons like Marich, added by Marich, they were coming and disturbing the sages. And the reason behind disturbing the sages is that when the sages are performing yajna, sacrifices, fire sacrifices, and they perform austerities, then they become powerful. At the same time, the demigods also become powerful. So Ravana, he wanted to disturb the sages, so none of them become powerful. Although Ravana's own father is a sage, Vishwamuni. But Ravana was born of Keshini, who came from demon family. She was not a demon herself, but she was born in a demon family. So that way her body came from demon family, but she did not act like a demon as such, because she was a wife of a great sage, Vishwamuni. So in the forest, these demons were coming and disturbing the sages in so many horrific ways. They would come and pour stool, urine in the fire sacrifice and contaminate it. And sometimes they would simply come and devour the sages, just eat them up. So Vishwamitra Muni, he wanted to perform a sacrifice, and he found that Marichi and his demon friends were coming and disturbing him. So being a Brahma Rishi, he had taken a vow not to utter a curse on anybody, because when they utter a curse, they lose their powers. So he thought of a plan. And this plan was to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Ramchandra. So Vishwamitra Muni knew that Dashrath Nandan, Ramachandra, is not an ordinary prince. And he wanted to manifest his glories to the world. So he came to Maharaj Dashrath, and Maharaj Dashrath was very famous for keeping his word, keeping his promise. He comes to Maharaj Dashrath and he is asking that Lord Ramchandra goes to forest with him. So Maharaj Dashrath became very hesitant. He did not say no, but he became hesitant. So Vishwamitra Muni then becomes angry and he is about to leave. Now, if a sage leaves your home, or if a saintly person leaves your home in an anger, this is very inauspicious, very, very inauspicious. So then Vasishtha Muni, who had now become a friend to Vishwamitra Muni, he pacified Maharaj Dasrath. Lord Ram was dearer than his own life to Maharaj Dasrath, Kaushalya, and all the citizens of Ayodhya. So he pacified Maharaj Dasrath and said that actually Vishwamitra Muni is capable himself to eradicate these demons, but he wants to manifest the glories of your divine son. So please don't hesitate, let him go. Then Maharaj Dasrath said, okay, I would let Ram go, but please allow Lakshman to go with him as well. Because both of them, they are inseparable. So Lord Ram and Lakshman then go to Vishwamitra Muni and they serve him like a disciple because they were his disciples. So in the forest, then Vishwamitra Muni teaches Lord Ram and Lakshman Dhanurved, the art of archery. Although they were already trained by Vasishtha Muni, then he gives them postgraduate education on Dhanurved, and he gives them divine weapons by which they become inconquerable. So having received these divine weapons and protected the sacrifice, fire sacrifice of Vishwamitra Muni, that Lord Ramchandra was residing in Vishwamitra Muni's ashram. So here we see Ado Ram Vanadi Tapo Vanadi Gamanam. So in the beginning, Lord Ram goes to Tapovan. Tapovan is the forest where the sages are performing austerities. So during that time, they receive a message from Maharaj Janak. Maharaj Janak is one of the Mahajans. He is one of the Mahajanas. They receive a message, an invitation to come to Vaidehi Swayamvar. One day, King Janak noticed that his young daughter, Sita Devi, she lifted Shivadhanas, the bow of Lord Shiva, by which the Lord Shiva had killed Trishanku. So there were a number of bows which were lying in different places. And one of the bow Lord Shiva used was in the custody of Maharaj Janak. So they used to require at least 300 people to lift this bow, Dhanush. And Sita Devi, while doing some household work, she lifted it. And Maharaj Dasrath, Maharaj Janak, when he came to know, he was completely surprised. He understood that my daughter Sita is extraordinary. She must be a divine child. And in order to marry somebody equal to, or greater than her, or at least equal to her, should be able to marry. So Vishwamitra Muni received the invitation, and then they go to attend Maharaj Janak's Swayamvar, Sita Swayamvar. Swayamvar is where the girl has the opportunity to choose her husband. So on the way, this is how Vishwamitra Muni is revealing to the world that Lord Ramchandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So on the way, Lord Ramchandra kills Tarka, and Tarka had a boon from Durvasa Muni, that she would not be killed by anyone. except the personality of God. So on the way, Lord Ramchandra kills Tarka, and then they come to Gautam Muni's ashram, where they can see the tulsi is growing, and there's nobody there. So Lord Ramchandra inquires, seeing a Shila, that Shila looks jivant, or looks living. Vishwamitra Muni then explains that this is not a stone. This is a woman cursed by her husband, Gautam Muni. And she has been waiting for you for a very long time. So we have very limited time. There are so many wonderful stories in Ramayana, all connected to one each other. Lord Brahma had created the most beautiful woman on the planet in the creation. And her name was Ahalya. So then one day Gautam Muni went to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma said that you should marry Ahalya. And Ahalya was the first Miss Universe. Nowadays you have these competitions of Miss Universe, Miss Britain, Miss India. So these competitions are very different to actual beauty that Miss Universe used to have. So Ahalya was first Miss Universe. Then eventually, because Gautam Rishi was a sage, Ahalya was living like wife of a sage. She was wife of a sage, serving him. And Indra becomes captivated by her beauty. So he comes in the disguise of Gautam Muni, and he breaks the chastity of Ahalya. So Gautam Rishi then cursed Indra. He said to Indra that you fool, you're so addicted to sex life. So I curse you that you will have thousands of female genitals all over your body. And Indra came to his senses. And then he cursed his wife, who was innocent, because Indra had come in the disguise of Gautam Muni. So he cursed her to become a stone. But then Ahalya fell at his feet, asked for forgiveness, and then Gautam Muni said, but I can't take my curse back. When Lord Ramchandra comes, just by touch of his lotus feet, you would be delivered. So this was the occasion. Vishwamitra Muni knew it. So Indra also came to his senses, and Gautam Muni said that I can't take my curse back. But whenever anyone looks at your body, it will look like you have thousands of eyes. So no matter who engages in illicit sex, they always, or anyone who engages in illicit sex will always be ruined. The end result of illicit sex is misery. So Indra also got into deep miserable condition by breaking the chastity of Ahalya and then being cursed by Gautam Muni. So Ahalya was waiting, remembering Lord Ram. Now imagine the situation, that she has become a stone, that she doesn't have a human body, but she still has the consciousness. And she knows that when Lord Ramchandra comes, then he would deliver her. So we cannot imagine the intensity of her meditation on the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra that will deliver her from her miserable conditions. So Lord Ramchandra touches the stone, turned Ahalya, turned a stone with his lotus feet, and immediately Ahalya appears from the stone. And now she is looking so effulgent like a goddess. So she offers beautiful prayers to Lord Ramchandra, and then she leaves that place, goes back to her husband, Gautam Muni. So after this incident, Lord Ramchandra comes to Janakpuri, and on the order of his spiritual master, Vishwamitra Muni, then he lifts the Shivadhanush. This happened when Janak Maharaj had almost lost the hope. Anyone could break or anyone could lift Shivadhanush, the bow of Lord Shiva. So Lord Ramchandra lifts the Shivadhanush, and as he is trying to put Pratyancha, string the bow breaks. And that noise, that tumultuous noise, goes all over the universe. And that noise also goes to Mahendra Parvat, where Lord Parashuram is performing austerities. So he comes to know that Shivdhanus, which is the bow of his worshipable Lord, Mahadev, has been broken. So he comes to the scene. Then Lord Ramchandra subdues Lord Parashuram. So there are many wonderful stories, but just keep to the time limit, and we'll just keep it short. After marrying Sita Devi, Lord Ramchandra goes back to Ayodhya. Lakshman, Shatrugna, Bharat, they all marry the daughters of Maharaj Janak's brother. So then they go back to Ayodhya. And in Ayodhya, everyone is happy because Janak Maharaj has announced that Lord Ramchandra will be coronated. He will become the king next day. At that time, Bharat was not at home. He was in the house of his maternal uncle, Kakedesh. And then demigods, they become very worried that if Lord Ramchandra is coronated, he becomes the king of Ayodhya, then who is going to kill Ravana? So before Lord Ramchandra incarnated in Ayodhya, all the demigods, along with Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, they had approached Lord Vishnu, Shirodesai Vishnu, in Kshir Sagar, to incarnate and kill Ravana and his demonic family in Lanka. So then all the demigods prayed to Mother Saraswati, and then Saraswati, through Mantra, who was a maid servant of Kaikeyi, then bewilders the intelligence of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi, who used to love Lord Ramchandra like her own son, then becomes worried that when Ramchandra becomes coronated as the king of Ayodhya, her son Bharat will be living like a slave, serving him, and then her own position will be compromised. Kaikeyi was the most favorite queen of Janak Maharaj, of Dashrath Maharaj. So she thought that her position will be compromised because then Kaushalya Maharani will be more glorified. She will become Rajmata, and her position will be compromised. So Mantra then convinces Kaikeyi to ask Dashrath Maharaj for 2 boons. First boon, that instead of Lord Ram, Prince Ram, Bharat should be made the king of Ayodhya. And second boon, that Lord Ramchandra, Prince Ram, should leave for the forest. He should not stay in Ayodhya, and he should remain in the forest for 14 years and live like a hermit. So Kaikeyi then asked Dashrath Maharaj for these 2 boons, and Dashrath Maharaj was almost unconscious, hearing what she was asking. Just the day before the coronation of his beloved Prince Ram. So Dashrath Maharaj is in dilemma, but somehow Lord Ramchandra comes to know that his father is in dilemma because his youngest mother, his stepmother, Kaikeyi, has asked for these 2 boons. So voluntarily, Lord Ramchandra decides to go to the forest, and he is accompanied by Sita Devi, who had just married the prince. So Lord Ramchandra, Sita Devi, and Lakshmana, who is the shadow of the Lord in his pastimes, they are then vanished from Ayodhya. Ayodhya then becomes completely devoid of any opulence. Everyone is crying. Dashrath Maharaj leaves his body. Soon after, Lord Ramchandra goes. So there are many pastimes that happen on the way. But here in the one shloki, Eka Shloki Ramayana, it says, Tapovanadi Gamanam, Hatva Mrigam Kancha. So in the forest, Lord Ramchandra meets his friend from his Gurukul, Nishadraj, and then he helps them to cross Ganga. There are so many beautiful pastimes. We don't really have time. So when Lord Ramchandra is deciding where he should go, he is advised to go to Chitrakoot by Bharadwaj Muni. So first they go to Prayagraj, and then from Prayagraj, Bharadwaj Muni advises them to go to Chitrakoot. So some of you who have been to Chitrakoot, you can see Lord Ramchandra's presence in Chitrakoot is so evident. In Chitrakoot, there are 4 dham. There are 4 eminent places. Hanuman Dhara, Sita Rasoi, where Mother Sita used to cook. And more importantly, the mountain that gave shelter to Lord Ramchandra during his pastimes. So Lord Ramchandra remained in Chitrakoot. Mandakini Ganga. If you go to Chitrakoot, you can see that Mandakini Ganga is coming from another planet, so Patal Lok. The Sahastra Dhara, there's so many dharas, there's so many streams coming, and no one knows where they're coming from. So many amazing places. If you haven't been to Chitrakoot, I would suggest you go and see these pastime places. Chitrakoot, like Vrindavan, has so many monkeys, big monkeys, all sorts of monkeys. Then you go to Hanuman Dhara, where Hanumanji is present, and there is a water coming. Nobody knows the origin. And on the mountain, there's constantly water coming. Then the place where Mother Sita used to cook for Lord Ramchandra. So during the exile, Lord was not eating anything, any grain. So he was only taking kanmul phal, just the fruits and roots. So many beautiful places. That mountain is called Kamadgiri. Kamadgiri, it fulfills all desires. Therefore, the mountain is called Kamadgiri. Giri is mountain. Just like we have Govardhan Parvat in Vrindavan, Yamuna Maiya. Similarly, in Chitrakoot you would see Mandakini Ganga and Kamadgiri. So it takes about an hour to do parikrama of Kamadgiri. Unlike in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, where you have to go for 5-6 hours to complete the parikrama. So in the forest, Lord Ramchandra spent many years in Chitrakoot, but in remaining few years, he was advised to go to Panchavati. So in Panchavati, the Lord fights with the demons, Khar and Dushan, and they are unconquerable. After defeating Khar and Dushan, the news goes to Ravana. And in Panchavati, Hatva Mrigam Kanchana. So in Panchavati, the turning point of Lord Ramchand's exile comes. And the turning point is this, that one day, when Shurpanakha was going from the aerial way, skyways, she saw Lakshmana. And she became enamored with the beauty of Lakshmana. Lakshmana means the personality of Godhead with all the characteristics, all wonderful qualities, beautiful body, most attractive, beautiful body. So she became enamored and she wanted to marry Lakshmana. So Lakshmana says that actually, I'm on my own, but I'm only a servant. So why do you want to marry a servant? You should marry the king. My brother is the king of Ayodhya, so you should marry him. So she goes to Lord Ramchandra. So she goes back and forth. Then she realizes that actually Lord Ramchandra is not able to marry her because because of Sita Devi. So she tries to then devour Sita Devi, and Lakshmana comes and cuts her ears and nose, because a woman is not to be killed. She can only be mildly punished. So Surpanakha then goes to Ravan and tells him how she has been insulted by these two brothers. But she's very cunning. So she thinks that her brother is not going to listen unless she tells him that there is a woman, the most beautiful woman in the creation. So she said that there is a woman who is married to this prince, and she should be your queen, not his queen. So that actually induces Ravana to go to Marich. Marich was his maternal uncle, and convince Marich to take the form of golden deer and go to Panchavati in the form of a golden deer. By seeing a golden deer, Sita will be enamored. Lord Ramchandra will leave Sita Devi on her own. And then Ravana will come in the form of a sage and abduct Sita Devi. So this was his plot. And that plot became successful, because Lord Ramchandra wanted to kill Sita Devi, kill Ravana and his family. So it says, Ado Ram Vanadigamanam Hatva Mrigam Kanchana. So Marichi comes. First, Marichi tries to convince Ravana that, look, he is not an ordinary prince. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I already have my experience. When Marich was disturbing the sacrifices of Vishwamitra Muni. That time Lord Ramchandra had shot an arrow. And that arrow did not kill him, but it took him to Lanka. So he said, I already have my experience how powerful Ram is. So don't think that he is an ordinary prince. He is the Supreme Lord himself. You already have so many princesses and queens in your kingdom, in your palace. You should be happy with them. And you must not try to abduct Sita Devi, because she is not simply a princess. She is the goddess of fortune herself. So Ravana then wants to kill Marich if he does not listen to him, and Marich is forced to become a golden deer. He goes and starts frolicking in front of Sita Devi. And before that, Lord Ramchandra tells Sita Devi that now the turning point of her pastimes is coming. So I want you to remain with Agni Dev, fire god, for some time. And then leave an image of you that will perform remaining pastimes until I kill Ravana. So Sita Devi then leaves Chaya Sita. And that Chaya Sita was taken by Ravana when he came in the form of a sadhu and asked for alms from Sita Devi. So as soon as Sita Devi comes, then Ravana abducts her. So this is what it says, Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam. So here Lord Ramchandra kills Marich. Marich, just before dying, he shouts, Ram, Ram, Ram. So Sita Devi and Lakshmana think that Lord Ramchandra has been attacked. So Sita Devi, Mother Sita, forces Lakshmana to leave her on her own and go and protect his brother. But Lord Ramchandra eventually kills Marich, and this Marich was a demon. So even at the time of death, he wanted to serve his master, Ravan. So he chants Lord Ram's name and leaves his body. So this is up to where we have come in Ek Shloki Ramayana. Ado Ram Vanadigamnam Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam. In the beginning, Lord Ramchandra goes to forest, Tapovan, and then in the forest, again when he goes with being abducted in the exile, he kills Mrigam Kanchan, the golden deer. So it's already 6:04, and we'll continue the story of Ramayana in the next week. Hare Krishna.
Jay, Hare Krishna, that was really amazing. I'm glad we did decide a two-part week, because it's impossible to fit everything, in such a short time slot. But all these details you're coming out with, that we've never heard some of them before, so it's been really, really interesting. I'm sure all the devotees also are really enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So we look forward definitely to part 2. It's like, we're on a cliffhanger now. We're waiting to what's next. Every time we hear the Lord's, pastimes, even though you know them, but every time it's fresh, it feels new.
It is, yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mata.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much. We'll
Hare
see you.
Krishna.
So now we'll go over to the temple for Aarti. Aarti will be sung by Madhura Sita family from Milton Keynes with Ravi Tej Krishna Prabhu. And we'll have them on, followed by main Aarti Kirtan by Parama Prabhu family. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Nita Sachinandan Jaya Nita Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Nita
Hare Krishna, can you unmute, please?
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asya Satarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asya Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe, Jai Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe, Jai Radha Madhava, Radha जय सीताराम हनुमान सीताराम नयन पतगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी नयन पतगामी भवतु मे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय श्याम सुंदर जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय श्याम सुंदर जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय महारानी सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय महारानी जय सुभद्रा जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि विष्णुप्रिय नंदन बिहारी जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि विष्णुप्रिय नंदन बिहारी जय नित्याचार मुख चक्रधार गौरा 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 हरि गौरा 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 हरि गौरा 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 हरि गौरा 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 हरि बोल गौरंग 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 बिहारी गौर हरि विष्णुप्रिय बिहारी जय 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 सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि विष्णुप्रिय बिहारी श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम जय मधुसूदन 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 जय मधुसूदन 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 जय मधुसूदन राधा रमण राधा रमण हरे राधा रमण राधा रमण राधा रमण राधे जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय मानि 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 जय मानि 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 जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद जय जय प्रभुपद 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 जय जय प्रभुपद जय जय प्रभुपद 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 जय जय प्रभुपद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल 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 हरि Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vaidikacharya Shradivanga A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Namo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vaidikacharya Shradivanga Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj ki jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Namacharya Hridas Thakur ki jai Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya ki jai Bhakti Dev Tulsi Maharani ki jai Pyare Sacharani Nitai Chan ki jai Ganade Bhagavad Subhadra Maharani ki jai Vrindavan Dham Ardham Nizamaya Vrindavan Vrindavan Yakchakram Tripudham Angri Dham ki jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Ramayana ki jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai Satgosam Vrindavan ki jai राधा मदन मोहन राधा गोकुलनंद सीताराम लक्ष्मण मान की जय राधा माधव राधा गोकुलनंद गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय वाणिमा महाराज की जय राधा रमन लाल की जय पंचरत्न की जय षडगोसा वृंदावन की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all Vishnu Samudhavati Saglo Vishnu Samudhavati Saglo Saglo Sri Guru Sri Gauranga Sri Prabhupada की ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Jai Shushi Satyanandai Chan Ki Jai. So thank you very much to Pranava family for a lovely, lovely Aarti. That was really nice to see you all dancing. It was just like being in Sunday program, Sunday Aarti. It brought back flashback memories of being in the congregation. So that's really nice. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So now we'll go on to the Nrsingadev prayer. We'll end the program. We'll be praying for the protection and for the mercy of Lord Nrsingadev, protect his devotees. So we do have a long list of names. So these Nrsingadev prayers will be dedicated to the speedy recovery for His Holiness Jaipaduk Swami's care team and other devotees, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami, His Holiness Atmanivedan Maharaj, His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu in Mayapur. So we're also praying for the recently departed souls, Ken Prabhu, Sardar Kamaljit Singh, Rita Tandon, Luke, Kushal Bhai of Rugby, Ramanique Lakhani, Ishani's Chachaji Naresh from Bharat, and Ravi Kiran Prabhu's cousin, Mitai Mohan. We're also praying for the good continued health for Vinod Mandri Mataji, Vitar Prabhu's father, Brahmanji Mataji, Neela Ben, Shraddha Devi Mataji, Hamsini Devi and family, Srimati, Kavita Bajaj and Sunday Bajaj of Coventry, Gadadhar Prabhu of London, Vinod Mandri's father, Prem Mallan of London, Mochan Bhai Chauhan, Mohit Agrawal of Vrindavan, Raj Rishi of Calcutta, and Kala Patel. So Anil Prabhu will be singing the Nrsingadev prayers for us today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nrsingadev Bhagavan ki jai. Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Pralatalatatayine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaya. Shilatanka narkalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato ya miyato Narsimha. Pahe Narsimha Hirdaye Narsimha. Narasingamadim Sharana Prapale. Tavakara Kavalamare. Nakam Apaputa Shringayam. Taleta Hiranyakashipur. Talavingam. Keshavadurta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kavalamare Nakam Apaputa Shringayam Taleta Hiranyakashipur Talavingam Keshavadurta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narsimhadev, 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 Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Nistai Chand, Sachinandana, Jaya Nistai Chand, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Sita Ram, Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram, Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Jayo Jaya Guru Maharaj, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Prabhupada की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्री सचिनंदन निताय चांद की जय, जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, राधा गोकुलनंद की जय, राधा माधव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Anil Prabhu, hope you're well.
Hare Krishna.
Today, thank you very much for singing the Shingadev prayers. Lovely to have you join us during Sunday program, and we'll hear from you again soon. Thank you very much. So that concludes our Sunday program today. Thank you all the devotees for joining us. Just a few announcements. So this week we will have the continued daily darshan arti as we always do, with also the Ramayana reading, which will be continued in the evening, Monday to Saturday, and then the following Sunday program. This Wednesday will be a Bhagavad Gita class by His Grace Haridas Prabhu, hosted by Kalyan Mandir of Rugby, organized by Neelaben Mataji. So we invite you all to join us on Zoom, discussing the glories of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure there'll be some selected verses, selected shlokas, which His Grace Haridas Prabhuji will elaborate on. It's a very nice interactive session. So various devotees are reading the shlokas, reading the translations, and then it's explained further by Prabhuji. So that's very nice. That's on Wednesday, 5:30 to 7. We'll send out a poster invite on the Coventry WhatsApp notice board. If you would like to keep updated about our events, please contact any of the devotees or send us an email at kov@krishnavrindavan.com, or just put a comment in the video down below on our YouTube channel, and you can send in your number and we can add you to the WhatsApp mailing groups. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Krishna Vrindavan, and do click the bell icon to be notified of the events. So Ram Navami is on Wednesday, on 21st of April. So do look out for the festival details. Also, currently we have an appeal going for Barsana. So Barsana Dham is very dear to Radharani, where many of her pastimes happen there in Barsana Dham. So there is a Goswami named Vishnu Goswami, and his seva, his service in Barsana temple, where the self-manifested deity of Srimati Radharani is, the actual temple of Barsana, his service is going on right now. So the Coventry temple, when devotees go, so Vishnu Goswami allows us to take darshan in Barsana temple, and his service is going on right now. And if you would like to offer any seva or any donation for this service, you're most welcome to. Please send any donations by the end of today, or you can pledge a donation, and Vishnu Goswami of Barsana will directly give that donation on your behalf with your name in front of Radharani in Barsana temple. So thank you to all the devotees who have kindly donated so far. So today's the last day. So please do send us either a pledge. I would like to give such and such. Send your name, send a prayer, or you can send it directly via the Bax Temple account with reference Radha or Prasanna. So thank you very much for all your support and for logging in today, taking part in the wonderful Sunday program. And we look forward to serving you next Sunday. Also join us during the week on Zoom. Tell your friends, tell your family, and we'll continue like this. Hopefully the lockdown eases from tomorrow, I believe. So do stay safe, and we'll see you on Zoom soon. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Ram Ram Dashrath Nandana Ram